Hello, everyone. Brett the Comic Novice here. And as I put together my comic pull list for the month of October 2025, I noticed that it was about 50 comics deep, which begs the question, is there 50 comics worth purchasing per month? Well, in doing that, I guess, research, I used the data that was available to me on League of Comic Geek. Now, keep in mind, I know that this is probably as accurate as, the users and whatnot can be. So take this with a grain of salt. But here is the results of my investigation of not only are there, but what are the top 50 comic books? Because I'm curious what I have compared to what the general public might pick up or miss out. And so, with that being said, it has to beg the question of what is not on the top 50 most pulled comic list. Now, again, keep in mind this is just from League of Comic Geek and it could have some holes in it. And I am very aware of that. So, but without further ado, let's just look at what is not on that list. The Marvel's, Return of the Punisher by Ben Percy, and the 6 issue Red Band edition of it not on the list. The YouTubers and podcasters I listen to about comic books constantly talk about Space Ghost and Conan the Barbarian, both of which I've never read, but are also not on the list. For some reason, nobody wants to read this new Red Hood book, and gee whiz, I cannot figure out why. I'm curious if it just is because, the writer is dug herself her own grave. The one I'm surprised about, though, is the Robert Kirkman, David Finch Skin Breakers from Image Comic. I'm very much a fan of David Finch's work and just kind of curious to find out what this is, but it is not on the top 50. And to round out some of the ones that I'm kind of curious why they were, the ones that are more heralded by comic YouTubers and podcasters is the Ghost Machine imprint, and not a single one of those has been found on the top 50. Now, again, grain of salt, League of Comic Geek, as accurate as the users are. So, without further ado, I'm going to go into what is on this list. And out of the top 50, there is 23 comics from DC, 22 from Marvel, 4 from other companies, and if you add that up, that's 49. But there is that combined DC comic crossover, which is the 50th one. So when we get to that one, don't worry, it is on there. Additionally, what is also on the top 50 list, there is 19 comics that are cover price $3.99, 29 which are $4.99. Keep in mind the top about 15 or so, there are all $4.99. There's one comic that is $6.99 and another one that is $7.99. So again, not a cheap hobby. And then, which begs the question of are some of the criticisms just? Yes, they are. Keep in mind also, this is going to be different from, sales figures because of the variant covers, because this will give what is on the most pulled list, not, how many variant covers that you can sell to one customer. I do have that on the slides too. So that's just, just food for thought. So starting off at number 50, we have The Flash, which is going to be ending the, I guess, the reign of terror of Cy Spurrier at issue 25, which is going to lead into Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell's DCKO. Going to be interesting to find out if Mark Waid is only on it. This is my conspiracy theory, only on it for the DCKO spinoff series, and then it gets to Christopher Cantwell. That's just my conspiracy theory. Number 49, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. Well, you know what I should have done? I should have probably done how many mini or maxi series there are, because these are going to drop from the wayside. I guess I'll have to do that for next month. Number 48, the most pulled, is Batman Dark Patterns by Dan Waters. This is the issue 10 of a 12-issue maxi series. Number 47, I was actually at one point in time compiling the list, not thinking that this would actually break the top 50, and that is the Philip Kennedy Johnson's Incredible Hulk series. This is the issue that they're on this one, which is, I believe, 29, reveals the mother of all horrors. Then you have the final issue, number 46. Sorry, it's issue number 10, I believe, of the Magic series. I'm not sure if this, X-Men spinoff series was going to ever be a long, um, I know, uh, ongoing series until it wasn't. I'm not sure if it was one of those situations, but issue number 10 of Magic, final issue, the most 49 picked. 45 is Daredevil, which is also Saladin Ahmed's final issue and final issue of the Daredevil run. I'm going to be curious to find out. I think there's a couple of one-shots here and there going in the future, but not 100% sure. Then you have the first one that is, well, this isn't the first one that's cracked it. This is the first one that we've seen. Image Comics makes their first appearance with Void Rivals, with the 44th most pulled comic. We go to the Magic from the X-Men series, issue number 9. I think I have it says new arc begins. I think that's a mistake. I think it was, if it was a new arc begin, it's issue number 9, new arc begins. Issue number 10, arc closes. So I think that was a mistake right there. Poison Ivy from DC Comics, which was supposed to be a 6-issue mini, I believe, and then it turned into a maxi. Then it went into an ongoing. I'm not sure if a new arc begins there either. I think I might have made a mistake. I do know that these numbers are correct, though. Issue 41 out of 50, we have The Avengers. One of the things that I do appreciate about both DC and Marvel currently is The Avengers and Justice League are both at a cover price of $3.99. Now, as we get closer to about the top 20, you'll see less and less of $3.99 and more of the $4.99 option, which I think does hinder the collectability of these, which makes people want to either A, trade wait, or B, just wait for the app, or C, possibly illegally, read on a pirate site. Number 40, Green Arrow. The Crimson Archer arc continues. This has Montas and also Chris Condon writing, and I stopped after the first arc just because I feel as though they could have done so much more with it, and I don't think they did. So I'm just going to be reading on the app. Number 39, Green Lantern by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Green Lantern's on the top 50, not Green Lantern Corps, though. This, I believe, concludes or comes near concluding the Starbreaker Supremacy arc. Number 38, you have Saladin Ahmed's final issue, also on Wolverine. I'd have no idea what the Clawfather is. I like the Godfather movie. That has no interest for me whatsoever. Number 39, Miles Morales, Spider-Man is continuing on. I believe the next issue goes to the fallout from the Miles Morales's, the Ultimate Universe when he went over there. That's going to be kind of interesting. Wonder if it's going to go from $3.99 to $4.99 because of that. New Gods, the issue 10 of 12 maxi series is the 36th most pulled comic. 35th is the non-Tom Taylor Titans, which is the last book before they do the DC KO also. So, and I initially with my top 50 I had that on there, and then I think I just pulled it up because I read the synopsis for it. Batman and Robin by Philip Kennedy Johnson, the first appearance of the Quiet Man, a hitman, and a new arc, which again answers my question that I previously had. Is Philip Kennedy Johnson going to do the same thing with Batman and Robin as he did with Superman and have a long time storyline going on? You have Batgirl at 30th the 33rd most pulled comic. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Jason Aaron and Juan Frigeri, I think. Faria. I was reading the synopsis for that. I think this could be an interesting pull. It's not on my pull list. Don't like the $4.99 cover price, but it does look like it could be an interesting pull. For the 31st is Fantastic Four. This continues the One World Under Doom tie-in, which is interesting because this is the only one that has the One World Under Doom tie-in label on it. So I'm kind of curious if all those other ones are, either done and wrapped up because I haven't been following along with it, or they just don't have the dress cover for it. Batman and Robin Year One by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, issue number 11 of 12 of the Maxi series. I do appreciate when a Maxi series or a mini series is $3.99. It makes me want to pull it. Didn't pull this one though. Issue 29 of the top 50 is Wonder Woman by Daniel Samperi and writing by not Tom Taylor, Tom King. I dropped this series after the first 4 issues, haven't looked back since. But you know what? This is a oversized issue, number 25, and they decided not to raise the price up to, a higher price. It's just the standard Wonder Woman of $4.99 price. So I guess the silver lining right there. Issue 28 of the most pulled comic is from the Invincible Universe, Battle Beasts. 8. That's interesting. 8 variant covers for that one. Captain America, the Chip Zdarsky run, is issue number 3. I have no idea why it says issue number 7 right there, but it does. I didn't have any interest in this one. I feel as though I've been burned way too many times from modern Captain America, and so I'm just going with the old Captain America from, the 60s, 70s, and 80s or whatnot. This is interesting. Issue number 20 of the Ultimate Black Panther is the only one of the Ultimate line or the Absolute Universe line from DC that is this far down. Most of them are in the top 10s or the early teens. And so this one is the 26th most pulled for the Ultimate Universe, the Black Panther. That's why it has issue number 7. The 25th most pulled is the One World Under Doom by, I believe, Ryan North. This is issue 7 of 9 of the main event series. Issue number 24 is the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue number 4 of 5. This one is not bad, but we'll just see. The 23rd, now this one's interesting. The 23rd most pulled comic at the price of $6.99. You have 28 variant covers or more. This is the main cover, so 28 more on top of this one, with probably other, stores, pulling this and that. Number 22, Action Comics. This is, I believe, the continuing run of Mark Waid. I believe a new arc begins here. Maybe I might have made a mistake. Justice League Unlimited is the prelude to DC KO event. Issue number 11. Again, do love seeing that it is $3.99. The 20th is Amazing Spider-Man, issue number, I believe this is 13, I believe. With that was 12. Number 11, which is Legacy number 975. So of course it has to be oversized, $7.99 cover price. And this is the introduction of the brand new Spider-Man, the Symbi, with a new suit. So, they're trying to get their money's worth, having a $7.99 cover price, as well as, trying to make a big, first appearance. Number 18, Uncanny X-Men. Yeah. Uncanny X-Men is also number 17 too. So, back-to-back Uncanny X-Men. The standard X-Men, I believe, I think this is the Gail Simone one. This is the most pulled one, the 16th most pulled one. 15th is we finally get another one from Image Comic, Transformers, which sees the conclusion of Daniel Warren Johnson's run as the writer And also Jorge Corona is completing this issue as they're getting ready to move on to Robert Kirkman as the writer and Dan Mora as the artist. Number 14, we have Batman Superman World's Finest. And now I think from this point forward, it's $4.99 all the way. We have Ultimate X-Men with 5 issues left in this Ultimate line before they decide to do something else. You have Superman, written by Joshua Williamson, continuing the Summer of Superman at least storyline or, trade dress or whatnot as the 12th most pulled. Number 11, we have the start of the Mac Fraction Batman run with 45 variant covers. And that doesn't include, probably shop specials also. So this one could end up being one of the higher ones for, most purchased, but this is the 11th most issue selected from, the issue Batman number 1 is the 11th most pulled comic for September 2025. Number 10 is the Ultimate Wolverine at issue number 9 of a 12-issue maxi series. I got the first 4, wasn't compelling enough. And so I just kind of pieced out of that one. Absolute Green Lantern is the 9th most pulled comic, followed by Detective Comics, which is very interesting that Detective Comics is highly pulled than the Batman one, but, with new writer or whatnot. And Tom Taylor does have his love and his fans, so that also makes sense too. Number 7 is the Ultimates, as we are meeting the final meeting of the Sinister Six for this one. Number 6 is Nightwing, which is really interesting to see that Nightwing is this high with not having A, Tom Taylor, or B, who is the writer? It's not John Layman. I know Dexter Soy is on the art, but it's Dan Waters. That's right. Okay. Absolute Fash is the 5th most pulled for September, followed by Absolute Wonder Woman at number 4. Number 3, Absolute Superman is number 3. That was a stupid thing to say. And then we have the 2nd most pulled comic from all of September 2025 as Ultimate Spider-Man. I said the final meeting. I think I made a mistake on one of those 2 slides. Anyway, and without further ado, probably the most obvious for all of them, the most pulled comic for the month of September 2025, Absolute Batman. And it says a new arc begins. I think that one might be right. Who knows? All right. Well, with that being said, those are the top 50 most pulled, again, using the data from League of Comic Geek, and that is as accurate as, the users are that have it on there. What are you pulling? What are you passing on? I will tell you, as I looked at that, I think I have about probably 30 from that list, and I have some that didn't even make that list. What's on your pull list? What are you looking forward to for the month of September 2025? Comment down below, like, subscribe, whatever. Ring the bell if it so fits you. And until next time, I will see you in the dollar section where at least, 3 different variant covers of Matt Fraction's number 1 Batman will be found. Thanks for watching. Bye.